Animal Chiropractic Education Source. Thanks for joining us. Today I wanted to answer a question that came to me from one of my chiropractic students about a dog with seborrheic dermatitis, which just means stinky, oily skin. So there's a few things I know about that animal. He's 6 years old, he's short-haired, and he's eating a kibble diet, which has a lot of trans fatty acids. But as an animal chiropractor, those things can play a little bit of a role, but I want to look at what are the actual subluxations that are causing this issue. So what my friend Ted Carrick said the other day is that it's not that you have experience seeing an animal with seborrheic dermatitis, it's because you understand the role that plays in the way the animal is. Education is always expensive, whether you get it through experience or whether you get it through paying for it and taking tests. So what we need to know is that we have to know our neuroanatomy, all right? That anatomy and knowing how it functions is going to give us the answer every single time. So our job as an animal chiropractor is to normalize the response to the environment, get that nervous system functioning correctly so it can respond in an appropriate manner. So this dog has stinky, oily skin. We want it to be less stinky, less oily, and respond to its environment appropriately. So we're probably going to look at, first of all, local areas wherever the stinky, oily skin is, because our dorsal root comes up and innervates that skin, and it's going to be affected. We also know that the dog is probably colder than he should be, so the skin itself isn't warm enough to drain all this oil. The other thing we need to realize is that we have to look at that atlas. That's our first vertebra, right? Why the atlas? Even if the oily skin is back in his hind end or between his shoulders, we look at the atlas because every nerve in that body goes through that hole into the head. But the other important thing about that atlas is where it's located and how we're going to affect not just all those nerves. We're also going to affect the thyroid. We're going to affect the brainstem, we're going to affect the pituitary, we're going to affect the hypothalamus, we're going to affect all of those hormone-stimulating glands in that dog that improve his immune system. So it's going to help his immune system respond appropriately to his environment because it's going to start putting out normal hormones and not the ones that slow down his metabolism and make it harder for him to warm up and drain what's going on in that skin. So I know that I'm going to find something in his atlas. I'm probably going to find an occiput inferior. I'm going to find more than likely an atlas that's gone superior because that's going to be part of it. And oddly enough, that's exactly what the student said she had found. So for those of you who want to learn more or follow more of these student answers, well, you can either take our class, which is offered every single month, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and if you happen to be a part of our student group, you'll find these kind of videos on our student private page, which you're only allowed to go onto if you happen to be a student of Animal Chiropractic Education Source, where you get a whole lot more information.